Hi, I'm Shane.
I'm Kelsey.
And this is Dixie, and we're Love Hut for Life.
We've been living on the road in our self-built truck bed tiny house / sliding camper thingy for 50 weeks now.
And this week we're coming to you from the beautiful Jefferson National Forest in Virginia.
I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, be sure to leave us a comment below because we love hearing from you. Saturday morning, we woke up super excited to have part of our chosen family tribe right outside of our window. Mary and Zack each have their own vans now and are doing this full time, just like us.
We had found a little spot in the Jefferson National Forest just outside of Damascus. It was beautiful, but it just wasn't quite big enough for what we had in store for the week.
It felt so good to be caravanning with our group again, and the walkie-talkie conversation made it so much better.
Can we park in one of those? Not unless you want a shotgun up your ass. Not tonight. Maybe later on it might turn back and get shot. Not noon today. One of you wants to get shot, the other one wants to go to jail. What the fuck's wrong with y'all? No, I don't want to get shot today. I haven't thought about it yet. Well, you didn't see how I wrapped up the body in the woods.
That was actually one of the tamer of the conversations that entertained us as we drove deep into the Jefferson National Forest, trying to find a place that was large enough to accommodate a few more vans and also private enough that we could get some work done.
We were warned that Delta weather was going to be hitting us, but there was nothing we could do about it, so we hunkered down and ate dinner inside for the first night.
The Love Hut's first dinner party was a success, and the next morning, looking out our window to see Mary and Bear playing fetch was good for our hearts.
That silly hat was a good indication that she was trying to make me laugh for a reason. Mary was stuck, and it was time for us to get muddy.
Yeah. All right, keep going. You're good. Yeah. All right, stop.
Go. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Keep going. Don't be Get done.
Yeah! Keep going! Don't let up, Mary! Keep going! Yeah! We of course carry everything that we would need to pull someone out, but it was a really good thing that she didn't need us to because the Love Hut wasn't in too much better of a position. Shane! Wow.
was 3 inches of mud that was causing the love hut to ice skate across those leaves, but eventually I gained some traction.
The funniest part of all of this was that all of this effort was just to get across the street. As so often happens, once we got parked and got out the next morning, we realized that there was a much prettier spot right over there. I'm not sure we would have put all the effort in if we had known what we were getting ourselves into.
I mean, it is a pretty awesome spot though.
While the boys started making themselves at home, me and Mary hit the road because with all of the excitement the day before, we didn't get our video out and service was about an hour away. For getting that video uploaded and doing my absolute best to respond to a few days worth of messages, it was time to get back on the road and see what the boys had accomplished while we were gone.
The answer is not much. We instead found a slingshot and set up a shooting range.
Mary got to work on spaghetti for dinner, and I got to work on a fire for us to all sit around and enjoy it on this much drier night.
The next morning was a cold one, so we quickly made our way back to that fire.
Until the rain came back, even stronger than before, and we were all forced inside so that we could hunker down and stay warm and dry.
We ate hot soup and played Uno until the sun went down. Time for bed.
It dried up by sunup, but it was so cold that we were right back at that fire again.
After breakfast, me and Zack started planning what needed to be done to his first van to make it his first home. With the help of my handy-dandy measuring tape, we decided exactly how far we were going to lift the countertops and how big the cabinets were going to be, and exactly how much lumber that was going to take us.
Those three loaded up in Mary's van and headed out on that hour-long drive to civilization, while I stayed behind and took care of camp.
Made it back just in time for another family dinner around the fire.
The next morning, Dixie did her best to protest getting out of bed, but we eventually made it back to the fire.
Me and Zack got a little work done before it was time to show our buddy Joe a true chosen family welcome home.
Oh yeah.
We were all super excited to have Joe home, and he even brought some toys along.
I wonder if a DeWalt table saw is going to run off of solar. What do you think?
To be fair, Joe's solar system is a bit more robust than ours, but the answer was still no. And we all still had a lot of work to get done that day.
The temperature steadily dropping, it was time for us three to hit the hills and find some firewood.
I love it when they show their muscles off for me. Getting out of the house house the next morning was even more satisfying than before as we slowly started to see our campsite filling in.
We wasted very little time before we all got to work on the multiple projects that we had going.
Well, they got to work. I went out exploring this absolutely magical place that we're in right off the Appalachian Trail.
We were beginning to pick up steam on Zack's cabinets, and Joe kept talking about having to draw something.
We built another fire, but this one for cooking, as we all sat around and enjoyed hobo stew for family dinner that night.
I got back to work on some of the most enjoyable work I've ever done and spent the day with these two guys. I even got a matching hat from Joe's mom.
I was a little slower getting out of the bed that morning, but eventually I got out and made my way from our cozy little spot on the river back to where the rest of the gang was hanging out. Mama Mary was in her van cooking up some stew with the leftovers from the night before. We finally figured out that Joe was talking about a drawer, not a draw. He just couldn't say it with his Boston accent. And Shane was making some serious progress on Zack's van. Dixie led the charge on figuring out where Zack had run off to, and we found him doing what he does best, playing in nature. Poor Bear was not as amused by him being across the river as the rest of us were.
He found his way back across the river to come play bartender so we could all celebrate yet again another family member coming home.
Katya's home, and we all couldn't be more excited about it. We all spent the night hanging out around the fire, getting to know each other again after so many months apart.
And eventually, we decided to stumble our way back to the Love Hut one more time for the week.
Hi, mate.
Good night, guys. We love you.
I hope you all enjoyed that as much as we did. As always, I would like to thank each and every one of you for following us along on this wacky journey that we call life. If you get a chance, make sure you hit that thumbs up and the subscribe button below, and hit that share button too. Share it with a friend.
Yeah, guys, each and every one of you are an important part of our journey, and we're so grateful to have you coming along. If you're looking for a new way to support us, be sure and check out our Patreon account. I'll put that in the comments. Peace out, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.